just going to play a lovely flighted shot in there. 7 degrees down, a straight club path, and land like a cat with sore feet. With the aid of the broom, I'm going to get you to hit your wedges high and low, but more importantly, super accurate. Let's get to it. How often on Sky Sports have you heard Radar say he's just going to play a lovely flighted shot in there, just a dead hander into the flag, get that ball coming in nice and low and straight. 7 degrees down, a straight club path and a face to path that looks very, very nice, that's going to hit that ball nice and straight. And then all of a sudden, Radar says he needs to hit a high flighted one here that's nice and spinny. And so it's going to come in and land like a cat with sore feet. So all of a sudden, you get that flighted one that's nice and high with a much lighter angle of attack. Understanding how we need to manage the angle and the loft of the golf club and to keep it nice and straight is crucial to playing those wedge shots as accurately and as in control as we might need them. So with the aid of the broom, I'm going to show you how to do it. If you haven't seen my broom series, you are truly missing out, my friends, because the broom gives us a really, really clear explanation of how impact the handle has on the face angle. Now, why does a broom do it? Well, for a few reasons. The broom is long, and also this broom head that is now much wider allows us to see where the club face is pointing. Not pointing at the target is a no-no. So understand that the broom and where it points will mean that's where the face is pointing. The front of the broom and the back of the broom, no one's getting married here, Stuart. The front of the broom is using the leading edge of the golf club. In this case, well, in all cases actually, the back of the broom is using the bounce of the golf club. And yes, some people will say, yeah, but Stuart, the golf club has got a little bit of a kink in it down at the bottom. But in this case, it doesn't really matter, because what we're going to start to deal with is the handle relationship to the front edge and the back edge of the golf club that ultimately will define the height and flight of your golf ball. But the important thing is that when we understand, when we push the handle forwards, you can see it tends to want to open up the club face, and when we pull the handle back, it tends to want to close the club face. When we then think about pushing the handle forwards and squaring the face up, and pushing the handle back and squaring the face up, they are two very, very different feels to deliver that straight shot. But what it's ultimately going to do is change the flight, the spin, and the distance of the golf shot. So let's have a little think about, what does the low flighted shot mean? The low flighted shot means that we have less loft at strike, and less loft means that the back edge of the broom is pointing towards the ground. Now, if I set up to the golf ball and I simply push the handle more forwards, we're able to see that yes, we do get more shaft lean, which would ultimately take the loft off the golf club. But you can see in this instance, I actually need to do something else with the handle to make the face look straight. And making that handle go down and keeping the same wrist angle. So you can see my left wrist, as I push that handle down, is keeping the same shape. What it's not doing is bowing. Garbage. Pushing the handle down will make the face line back up. And so when the handle then starts to sit more down, it allows us to line the face back up. Now, when we think about the club head passing the handle, so there we are at address. If we had a neutral handle to club head, the way we were at address, compared to where we are now, obviously this is now going to add more loft when we then come to square the club face up. And so when we think about the handle sitting more back and the club head passing us more by, what we actually want to do is feel a little bit more crease and cup in the left wrist to aid that face looking back straight. Because when the club head is passing us by, it really accentuates the fact that the face is going to look more left, isn't it? The club head is swinging past me. I square the face up. Now look at the back edge of the golf club, the broom, adding the loft of the golf club. I push the handle forwards. I now square the face up. Look how it takes the loft back down. So the level of this broom is either taking loft off or putting loft on. But of course, it would be lovely to think that this handle can go straight. But as we know, if the handle is moving around us, simply thinking of this handle going straight in either direction just won't work. And we've had a lot of ideas about thinking about, well, open up the body or shut the body down. Well, that's one way of getting around it. But for me, I like to think about trying to keep the ball in the same position and starting to change the way we move around the golf ball to aid in controlling the flight of the shot. So when we're thinking about hitting these low shots, first of all, because I think that's the one that everybody wants to hit, that low one that comes in with a little bit more spin, a little bit more purchase on the green, and that feeling of less hand action. And why is that less hand action as a feeling? It's because we're not allowing the club to swing. So that dead-handed flighted shot that everybody talks about, that dead-handed flighted shot is because the club is not unloading. But what it is doing is still staying square. So you can see everyone then thinks about, well, I need more shaft lean to take the loft down, and then everyone talks about bowing the left wrist. But that's really hard work to do. I'm not going to go in about that. I've berated people about that for enough now. So the handle now sitting down now takes the wrist angle back to its normal shape, and we keep the loft down. So let's put this into action with a golf club. Now all of a sudden I'm thinking about the broom and its orientation. I can't encourage you enough to go grab yourself a broom. They're about 15 quid on Amazon. Get yourself a broom and start moving it around. Now there's a couple of things that you need to bear in mind. The longer the broom, the better it is for you. Because the longer the broom, the more the head weight will play a part in how you move the broom around. Please do go check out my broom series in the top right hand corner. It will be life-changing. And if I could encourage every single person that decides to go and watch that playlist and it has an impact on their golf, please share it with someone, because all I want to do is make people play better golf. For no other reason than it makes them have a nicer weekend. It enjoys their pastime, their downtime. It's so important. We all need our good downtime, and I want people playing good golf. I don't want them being frustrated, going home, kicking the cat and being a grumpy little sod for your Saturday evening with the wife or husband. So let's really try to make everyone play this game better. So this low flighted shot now, I'm going to make that handle sit down, and I'm still going to feel the crease in that left wrist that's been beautifully demonstrated by the broom. So what we'll see, and I've got a different data point up here, the dynamic loft on the golf club at strike. This is a 50-degree wedge. The lower the loft, the lower the launch angle it's going to be, and we'll start to see an angle of attack change. But hopefully what we're going to do is keep the club path, face angle and face to path as close to neutral as possible, so that that ball is coming in nice and straight and towards the flag. So the first one, I'm thinking about the handle forwards, but now the handle down, which now allows me to keep that crease in that wrist. Ball is in the same position, and all I'm trying to do is now really feel how I can get that handle down, that angle of attack down, which all of a sudden makes that angle of attack down at 7.2, and you can see my loft angle is down at 34.7 degrees. Now all of a sudden I'm going to start to feel how that club can unload back here. The handle's still down, but now I'm going to start to feel a bit more crease in the left wrist, because if that club head is overtaking me more, I need to add more loft in, and that more loft allows us to line the face back up and not get it going left with the angle of attack coming down, going from a 7 down to maybe 1, 2 or 3. So ball again in the same position. Now I'm going to start to feel how that golf club is going to unload a little earlier in the swing. Didn't quite strike that as well as I would like to have done, but the club head really swung, and I'm now at 1.6 down. So you can see, yes, I encourage the lever to swing more, But what I didn't do is allow myself enough crease and enough cup in that left wrist, which made the face shut 6.6 degrees to the path. Path was very straight, did that bit good, but what I didn't have is enough crease in that left wrist. So I would have taken 6 degrees off of that dynamic loft. And so if I'd have straightened that face to path up, I would have put that up at 45 degrees. So let's have another little go at that. So I'm still going to feel how that golf club's going to unload here. I'm still going to add a little bit of crease back in the left wrist here. And now all of a sudden, that was a much better effort. Didn't quite get as much or as lighter angle of attack as I wanted to, but I did get the face to path much straighter. Now, understanding that this is all about flight and height, I got that compared to the low one, didn't I? Now, the better that you get at this and understanding how the handle forwards and handle down lines the two up with the crease in the wrist, handle over being overtaken by the head, pressure down, even more crease in the left wrist. So we'll go back for that high one again. There we go. I think that's the best one that I've done so far. Bit more swing, bit more loft. And there she is up at 41.5 degrees. So a very different sensation that is being created down through strike. At no point have I shifted the ball back. At no point have I shifted the ball forwards. I've just started to manage my levers, and that is crucial when we're playing golf. Whether you like it or not, we have to manage the levers, we have to manage the pull phase, we have to manage the swing phase, and that needs to come in conjunction with how we move. And all of the ingredients in my golf swing, or all of the ingredients that I've put across on this channel about my golf swing, are all documented. Do go check out some leg action and rotation drills, because they will help you with mobilizing your trunk to deliver that. So just to end with then, I'm going to hit a little low one and then I'm going to hit a little high one, just to send you off with something positive for your next round of golf. So we're going to go push down, lines the face up, get the crease in the wrist. There's the low one, a decent angle of attack down, a loft angle at 32.4. Then we're going to go for the nice high one. Going to get the golf club swinging, add a little bit more loft back here, and hopefully, just hopefully, we'll get that nice high flighted shot that's going to send you into your next round of golf, enjoying it just that little bit more. Thank you so much for watching. Do consider subscribing while you're here. If I've added something to your golf game, I'd really appreciate it. And that, my friends, I think you'll find is good coaching.